Welcome to Kidmissing TV. I am your host, Angelina Wilson. This is the strange case of the Tylenol murders. Now, in Chicago, between September and October of 1982, 7 people were killed when a still unknown person or persons put potassium cyanide into Tylenol capsules. This case changed over-the-counter drug safety, and we'll get to that. It started out on September 28, 1982, when 12-year-old Mary Kellerman was hospitalized after consuming a capsule of extra-strength Tylenol. She died the following day. On the 29th, 6 other individuals consumed contaminated Tylenol, including members of the Janos family: Adam Janos, Stanley Janos, and Teresa Janos, 27, 25, and 20 respectively, who each took Tylenol from a single bottle. All 6 of the Janoses, Mary McFarland, 31, Paula Prince, 35, and Mary Reiner, 27, would ultimately die. The only public health official that they had in that area, called Arlington Heights, was a nurse named Helen Jensen. She was actually interviewed on what's it called? Something is Killing Me? Where they didn't know what was going on. And she talked about them getting to She visited the Janis household and found the Tylenol bottle with the receipt that had been purchased the same day. Noticing there were 6 pills missing, she turned the bottle over and reported her suspicions. Investigator Nick Pishos, Pishos, that's who she gave the bottle to, and he called in Dr. Edmund Donahue, Deputy Chief Medical Examiner for Cook County, who, suspecting cyanide may be the culprit, asked him to smell the bottle, and he smelled bitter almonds. So, the county chief toxicologist, Dr. Michael Schaefer, tested the capsules. 4 of the 44 remaining capsules contained nearly 3 times the fatal amount of cyanide. And they asked the public not to take Tylenol for the time being. Fortunately, they inventoried the Tylenol bottle that the little girl had taken, and it was the same lot number as the Janus bottle, which was MC 2880. And Johnson & Johnson issued a recall for all Tylenol. Now, there was a man who extorted them, Johnson & Johnson, from New York City. His name was James William Lewis, for sending a letter claiming responsibility, but it's doubtful. But when tainted bottles from other lots were discovered, for example, the pills in Mary McFarland's possession were traced to lots 1910 MD and MB 2738, the recall expanded. To pretty much all of it. They went to grocery stores, they went to the drug stores, pulling and testing and pulling and testing. They were manufactured in Pennsylvania and Texas. So they were tampered with after the products went on the shelf. FBI analyst John Douglas, who actually is my friend on Facebook and who has encouraged my work and said that I was doing good work, he sent me a very nice message. Actually said, let's put the location of the youngest victim's grave. Let's see if we can draw out this dude. But he didn't surface after the nice article. Again, James William Lewis sent a letter asking for $1 million. They don't think he did it. Well, some people do, I guess, but he was in New York City. This was in Chicago. So it's unlikely to me. His DNA didn't match any DNA recovered on the bottles. He died in 2023 at the age of 76. They also investigated a man named Roger Arnold, because he told officers he had potassium cyanide. His marriage dissolved and he became very erratic, which is one of the things, if you watch Criminal Minds, but it's actually a stressor that profilers look for. And once again, his DNA did not match the DNA on the bottles. In early 2009, the investigation was renewed. FBI agents once again went to Lewis's home, this time in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and seized a number of items. In Chicago, an FBI spokesman declined to comment but said, we'll have something to release later, possibly. In 2010, DNA samples were collected from Lewis and Arnold, whose bodies were exhumed, and neither DNA matched, as was mentioned. And in 2011, they took DNA from Ted Kaczynski. And there were hundreds of copycats. In Washington State, there was a case of Excedrin capsules being poisoned resulting in the death of Susan Snow and Bruce Nichol. Bruce Nichol's wife, Stella, was arrested and convicted. However, nowadays, most people do not believe she was guilty. After everything that I've seen, I don't think she's guilty either. There was a case in New York. 23-year-old Diane Ellsworth died in Yonkers after ingesting extra-strength Tylenol capsules with cyanide. Johnson & Johnson was lauded for their handling of the crisis. They went back, Johnson & Johnson and their subsidiary McNeil Laboratories, they got a claim from their insurance, and they settled in 1991 a lawsuit for all of the deaths. Now, the seals, this is where it changed. It inspired the pharmaceutical, food, and consumer product industries to develop tamper-resistant packaging, such as induction seals and improved quality control methods. Moreover, product tampering was made a federal crime. The new laws resulted in Stella Nichol's conviction. Yeah, we know. And they've largely moved away from capsules. And they replaced them with the solid caplet. And tamper-evident safety seals, as I mentioned on the bottles. And candy sales that year, because this happened to happen in October, went down by 20% because people just didn't want their kids trick-or-treating. They just didn't. And, yeah, it's unfortunate. So, there will be a poster for this case. But I wanted to talk to you about it because it's one that I found fascinating. And it's perfect for Oddities October. I mean, it's an unsolved mass murder, you know? So, I hope you enjoy it. I hope it gets you talking. And I'm glad it changed laws. I am sorry for Stella Nichol because I do not believe she's guilty. As a matter of fact, like I said, most people do not believe she's guilty. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.